You think you're in control when you play games, but most games are designed to control you. The Zeigarnik Effect. Unfinished tasks take up more mental space than completed ones. Russian psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik noticed this in the 1920s when she observed waiters remembering complex unpaid orders but forgetting them entirely once the bill was settled. Game designers use this human quirk to keep you playing by filling your screen with progress bars and active quest logs. Whenever you decide to quit for the night, seeing an objective sitting at 90% completion creates a lingering sense of mental tension. You play for another few minutes just to clear it off the list, only to have 3 new incomplete objectives immediately take its place. Variable ratio scheduling. Rewards feel much better when you never know exactly when they will drop. Early behavioral scientists discovered that animals would press a lever obsessively if a treat arrived at unpredictable intervals rather than on a fixed schedule. Video games adopted this concept perfectly through rare loot drops, mystery boxes, and randomized critical hits. If an enemy always dropped a rare sword on the 10th defeat, the grind would quickly feel like a boring factory job. By making the drop rate a mere percentage chance, your brain interprets every single attempt as a potential jackpot, flooding your system with dopamine before you even open the chest. The near-miss effect. Failing by a tiny margin activates the same reward pathways as a total victory. You see this constantly in arcade cabinets and modern racing titles where you cross the finish line just fractions of a second too late. Instead of processing this as a defeat, your brain treats the close call as proof that you are improving and mastering the system. It creates a powerful urge to try just one more time. Game developers intentionally tune enemy health pools and timer countdowns so that you barely survive or narrowly lose, manufacturing moments of high drama that convince you success is guaranteed on the very next attempt. Loss aversion. Humans hate losing things significantly more than they enjoy gaining them. This cognitive bias is the hidden engine behind daily login streaks and games that force you to recover your dropped experience points after a death. Once you have acquired a virtual currency or built up a 30-day playing streak, those assets feel like real personal property. The threat of having that progress wiped out triggers a genuine stress response. Players will often log into a game they do not even want to play that day, simply to protect a digital number from resetting to 0. Sensory feedback loops. Every action you take is paired with an exaggerated audio and visual response. Industry professionals often refer to this as the juice of a game, where a simple button press does not just make a character swing a sword, it triggers screen shake, particle effects, a deep bass sound, and controller vibration all at once. This multi-sensory cocktail tricks your nervous system into feeling physical impact and weight in a purely digital environment. The constant stream of flashy micro-rewards keeps the sensory cortex highly stimulated, making even the most repetitive actions feel deeply satisfying over hours of play. The illusion of choice. Interactive narratives often let you decide details while secretly forcing the same outcome. When a dialogue tree asks you to choose between being polite or aggressive, you feel a deep sense of agency over the story. Behind the scenes, however, both dialogue options usually lead to the exact same plot point or battle sequence. Giving players total control requires building countless branching story paths, which is impossibly expensive to develop. By offering cosmetic choices that shape the flavor of a conversation rather than its result, games make you feel deeply responsible for the narrative without actually altering the programmed destination. Dynamic difficulty adjustment. The invisible hand of the code alters the game based on your current skill level. If you die to a boss 5 times in a row, the software might secretly lower the enemy's health or give you a few extra healing items. Conversely, if you are winning too easily, opponents suddenly become more aggressive and accurate. The goal is to keep you in a psychological flow state, carefully balanced between crushing frustration and absolute boredom. You feel a massive sense of pride when you finally beat a difficult section, unaware that the game secretly tweaked the math in your favor just to ensure you walked away feeling like a champion. The sunk cost fallacy. People continue tedious activities simply because they have already invested heavily in them. Long-running role-playing games and live service titles rely heavily on this mental trap to maintain their active player counts. After spending 50 hours leveling up a character or purchasing an exclusive cosmetic track, quitting feels like throwing away your own time and money. Even if the gameplay is no longer enjoyable, the historical investment holds you hostage. You push through tedious quests and repetitive matches simply to justify the weeks of effort you have already poured into the virtual world.
Most people never notice this stuff, but you can be different. Subscribe Mechanism Atlas.